Hello everybody and welcome back. My name is Winback, and on today's episode of Heroes of the Storm in our A through Z playthrough, we're on Sonya, the Wandering Barbarian, the Diablo Supreme character. This is the best class in Diablo 3, that's what I'm trying to say. Barbarian's the best, Sonya's the best. Sonya's actually my favorite character in this entire game, and you would not know that looking at the amount of games on Alarak that I've played, but this character, bar none, is my favorite. So, we're going to do her some justice, even though this is 2 Blackheart's Bay games in a row. Gross. Anyway, Sonya is an offlaner, so we can talk about all sorts of good stuff about her, including her damage, her entire kit, her whole health bar. She's the greatest. It's a YouTube video, though, so feel free to like, comment, subscribe your heart out, and the team comps today are going to be Sonya, Kael'thas, Orphea, Asmo, Ragnaros versus Valeera, Tassadar, who is dead, Murky, Li Ming, who is dead, and Diva, who is dead. Kael'thas getting a triple kill up there in the top lane. Good on you, buddy. Not real sure why Asmo's in the bottom lane, but I guess that opens me up to go get some camps, which is something that Sonya's really, really good at. Not only that, but ultimately, our team comp has at least 4 people who can handle the off lane. 5 people if you really want to force Kael'thas to go do it. But our team is just built of off lane heroes, whether they're DPS, whether they're bruisers, whatever the case may be. But regardless, since Asmo's down there, this lets me do all of the camps that Sonya is so good at on a map that is just 100% nothing but camps. And I hate it, but it is still very, very easy to win on this map as long as you're doing things correctly and your team is cooperating with you. But Sonya, the character that we're all here to see about, has a whole bunch of really, really big damage built into her kit. But you can't really get there without talking about her trait, which is Fury. Fury is a resource that Sonya has to use both of her abilities that do, well, I guess all of her abilities do damage, but her big damage abilities are going to be her W and her E, her slam and her spin, but you can't use those without Fury. And you only get 100 Fury at max, and you don't get to watch Valeera die. She died immediately. Not real sure why nobody went for the coins. I guess that was just as much my bad as anybody else's, but still. Tassadar thinks that he can just stand here and fight us, which is incorrect. Just not even close to going to happen. But Sonya's Fury, you can only get 100. It does not passively generate. It generates in that Sonya needs to hit someone with her spear or her auto attacks, her spear being her Q, or she needs to take damage. So you can see it down here. Taking damage or dealing basic attack damage. Using a basic or heroic ability grants 10% movement speed for 4 seconds on top of that. So the dev team was like, well, I guess we need to give her something on top of that. But the movement speed is going to be very important once we hit level 13. I'm not going up there while Valeera is sharking around in between the lanes. We're just going to lose that XP until I'm good and ready to go around the backside. So okay, they're just going to let me walk through. Perfect. I have made the journey. So now that we know how Sonya's Fury trait works, we can talk about the rest of her abilities. Your Q, your Ancient Spear, is going to be the second form of Fury generation the character gets. So Q is going to throw out a spear. If it hits something, Sonya is going to latch on and pull herself to the target. If it does hit literally anything, the spear is going to give you, I think it's 30 Fury? 40 Fury. 40 Fury. Just shy of half the Fury bar filled instantaneously, as long as you're hitting your Q. Whether it's a building, whether it's a hero, whether it's a minion, whatever you hit, make sure that you're aiming that bad boy correctly and getting your resource back. You need it to do damage. You need it to stay alive. You have to have Fury to play the game. You can also get it by taking damage, though, so don't let the presence of enemies deter you if you have missed your spear. You're going to do, fewer spells, obviously, but you can still go in there and get some fury generation. Now, your second ability, your most important ability for Sonya as it stands right now, is the Seismic Slam, your W. It's just a big-ass hammer that Sonya is going to slap down on the ground, and then the shockwave behind it is going to... oh my god, Rag, it's one auto attack, buddy. Well, shit. Looks like we're going to take the Diva out for both the Orphea and the Ragnaros. Not real certain why everybody just face rolled into the enemy team. But Seismic Slam is the most important tool for Sonya because it's got the lowest cooldown, it's going to do the most damage, and it is a huge AoE ability. So we can look at it right now. 261 damage to the target enemy and 65 to the enemies behind the target. There's also talents that we're going to take for this that are going to increase the splash damage behind the hammer target, which make it even more deadly. It's just crazy how strong this ability is. Oh my god. I was going to go down there to do the camp. I saw the chest come up, and then turns out Murky was... Where was Murky? Oh my god, it was Tassadar taking the camp? Sir, do you know where you are? He should have just backed immediately. I guess he overthought it and tried to run away, but now he's just going to get leapt, destroyed, and watch the rest of his team die too, because Ming got the spear to the face. But the enemy team is going to sneak in the back and get the turn in while we're busy killing everybody. Somebody on the enemy team made a very strong decision, so kudos to whoever that was turning those coins in. That's nuts. But Seismic Slam out of the way. Remember, this is a 1 second cooldown, so this is almost as short as your... Let's see, can we get the... What is it? Control N, Control C? There it is. Attack range, attacks per second. So 1.25 is your auto attack cooldown. 1.25 seconds. That's how often you can auto attack. Your W has a shorter cooldown than your auto attack. Rag dead on the wrong side of the map, but at least we're getting the full turn in here, so his life wasn't completely wasted. But again, when you're playing with Sonya, your hammer is your biggest damage dealer. It's the shortest cooldown, even of your auto attack. So remember, when you're chasing people down, you want to hit them with the hammer. You don't necessarily need to chase people down with Whirlwind, because Whirlwind is ultimately doing less damage to fleeing targets at a slower rate, if that makes sense. So hammer does a lot really fast on a really short cooldown, and that's what you need. That's how you kill people. So let's say you just want to have the Whirlwind to chase after someone because you're not in range, and you just want the movement speed. You do that, you get up to the point where you're hitting them with your Whirlwind, then you cancel your Whirlwind and whip out a hammer instead. And a lot of the time in situations where a person is fleeing with enough health for you to want to chase them, that's how you'll get the kill. Oh, we are going directly in here, huh? Looks like Ming is probably going to die. I don't know if my team is on the right side of the map. I'm probably going to be killed, but Ming died to the poisoned spear. I pinged this like 100 years ago, people. I'm not super sure where everybody is, why we're at the turn-in in the middle, but I just got 6 coins stolen, and Kael'thas is going to die because bad decisions just abound in Quick Match on the worst map in the entire game that we're playing for the second day in a row. Love it. Now, your Whirlwind, the ability I was just mentioning, is the one ability that... buddy, what are you doing? You can't hit her. You have to leave. Now you're dead. Ooh. Watching things that have already happened again is like watching them in slow motion, and you remember the feeling of that happening in the game, and you're like, wow, this was pretty bad. But all that being said, I still guarantee you that we're going to be on top of the board in a lot of stats with this character because she's just fucking OP. And I love it that she is so ungodly good because she's my favorite. But back to Whirlwind. So Whirlwind, your E button is going to do exactly what it says. You're going to spin, you're going to deal damage, and you're going to heal for damage done while spinning. This is the main form of... We're just going to stop that Orphea kill right there by stomping on Valera. Kael'thas still going to die, but Ming is dead, so there's a lot less for us to worry about. Did Orphea get out? She's good. Yep, she's hearthing right now. The Whirlwind is going to heal you for things that you're hitting. So minions, mercenaries, whatever you're hitting is going to heal you. But this effect is tripled versus heroes. So the more heroes that you hit with your E, the more healing that you're going to get. And if you're hitting a combination of a bunch of minions and heroes, you can see the healing just explode in numbers. There's also talents that you can take, like Life Funnel at 7. That increase that healing even further. So if you have the opportunity to just spin unimpeded with Sonya, you get a shitload of healing. It is crazy just how much she can live through if she's not CC'd out of her spin. That being said, though, the final ability that we've taken this time around, Leap. Leap is finally gaining some traction as an ability because people are starting to understand how good of an engage it is and just how much damage that Sonya has when you're building for hammer on top of taking this ultimate. So it's not very recent, but most recently Sonya, she got a lot of buffs to her hammer build, and in doing that, it gives players a lot more opportunity to take Leap, because what you needed previously was you needed to have Wrath of the Berserker to do damage. Again, what are you guys doing? Now Valera has 17 coins. Okay. Ugh. My brain hurts so much. Are you... No, she's just going to scoot away, canceling the Pyroblast for the Kael'thas, and we're going to watch and laugh at them while we don't get a turn in with the coins that you guys have, but we would have if you had helped kill Valera and kept me alive. It's fine. I can't expect anything from these players. It's not my place to make fun or dictate anything going on in the game. If they're bad, they're going to be bad. That's just not my place. It's fine. Let's watch that not kill her. Good stuff. Anyway, back to Leap. So Leap is on a 60-second cooldown, and the stun that you get is 1.25 seconds. The damage is, it's good. It's fine. But ultimately, what you're using Leap for is to jump onto a squishy target, smash them to pieces with your hammer, and then casually walk away. This is extremely good for killing very squishy backline targets like a Tassadar, like Li Ming, like a little baby diva. All of that stuff is really easy to kill once you have Leap, so when the time comes, you can just pop on them, smash them, and then go help your team with whatever the fuck they're doing. Or, hopefully, your team will be helping you do what you're doing, because when you're jumping in, it's very clear Sonya screams at everybody and, like, go help kill the people. That's a boss. I guess that's fine. Kael'thas dies in the middle lane for whatever ungodly reason, and Orphea and Asmo are looking to push down the bottom keep. So I'll get turn in, nice and easy, get some damage on that middle building, and go defend the boss. You can't fight with me. I'm sorry. It's not gonna happen. Oh, but that's 3 people. I might be in trouble now. We've got to go and jump out. We're leaping out. It's on a 30-second cooldown with our 20 talent, and we'll talk about that in a second, but you did just kind of watch me face plant into the wall. You cannot cancel the Ariat Crater wall immediately. So when you jump on it, you can't just keep hitting the R button to turn it off immediately, which kind of sucks. It has like a 0.25 seconds that it has to stay up, which is stupid, but whatever. It probably prevents a lot of people from double tapping the R button and turning off the crater, which is fine. You don't really take the level 20 crater upgrade for leap for the crater itself. It's helpful, it's really good, but you want it mainly for the 30-second cooldown on leap, which is extremely good. Now that we're all out of the abilities, which took a really long time to explain, we can talk about the build. So Furious Blow is going to be your #1 talent. Every 4th cast of Seismic Slam is not going to cost any fury, and it's going to do a shitload more damage, which is really helpful because we do a lot of hammering with this build. And then at level 4, we are going to take Shattered Ground, which is going to affect the splash damage that occurs from behind whatever target that we're hitting. Li Ming is dead here, no matter what. I just need to make sure her blink is down so she can't get out of my crater. I'm just going to miss the spear entirely, and she's going to be able to use the Illusionist to get another blink cooldown back, which is kind of dumb, and I'm bad for missing that, but that's okay. My team still got her. Thank you, team, for showing up, listening to the leap, getting that kill. So Shattered Ground, depending on what you're hitting with your hammer, is going to have 2 different effects. So hitting a hero with Seismic Slam is going to increase its splash damage by 250%, while targeting other enemies increases the length of its splash by 66%. So the splash damage itself is going to be increased by 250%. That's a little bit interesting. I'm not super sure. Oh, are you going to live? We've got the crater. We've killed the Valera. We're keeping the Orphea alive. You're welcome. Get leapt on, enemy team. So if that math is right, the splash damage when hitting a hero is 500%, which is pretty good. Stop pinging me. What do you want? I'm doing things. Leave me alone. Oh, right, it was the Kael'thas being a shit. I understand. The guy who's just been dying on cooldown. Good stuff, man. Thanks for pinging me. Oh, right, but the Shattered Ground talent, really just fucking good. The increased range, really strong. The increased damage, also really strong. All the fucking coins just laying on the ground, really good. I've got 18. We're just going to stick those in the old bucket and win this game soon. But your 7 talent, typically I'm taking Poison Spear on the games that I want to take Leap because I want that extra burst damage from the Q. Can we? Nope. Can't save the Orphea a 3rd time, unfortunately. Didn't have the leap up there, so there was nothing that we could do. But Poison Spear, it's going to do double damage on the spear over 6 seconds. And there was a kill earlier on Li Ming that she died to the damage over time on the spear, which is crazy good. But it helps you mitigate the lack of damage that you're missing out on with Wrath of the Berserker. There's no way I die here under my core. Just not going to happen. I can definitely leap on some of these people if they get stuck in the core mechanic. Oh, there it is. The cannonball rockets out. The emergency shielding from the Diva. Really fucking annoying, but the mech is down. Looks like Valera's going to try to make it out as well. There's a Pyroblast interrupted by invisibility because Kael'thas has not learned his lesson about killing those people. And we've got 2 camps going on the bottom side of the map, so not a whole lot to worry about. At 13, we're going to be picking up No Escape. So No Escape is going to give us a shit ton of move speed. So this is going to take our move speed bonus on our trait from 10% to 20%. So we are running hella fast when we're using our hammers, when we're using our spins, when we are just chasing people down and killing them with all of our abilities. They are going to have an impossible time getting away from us as we slam the baby diva in the face one more time. Hello, people, come over here and help me. It doesn't take 3 people to take a watchtower. Just 1. Nice. There we are. Looks like the enemy team is still trying to do this backdoor thing. I don't think that they're aware that it doesn't work. But even at this point, Since the boss is less than half health, I can do this all by myself. Orphea has opted to stay and help me. Asmo's going to go back. I don't know. Kael'thas could go back too, but ultimately his presence does not bother me in any way. We're going to stick here with the boss. I'm just going to try to whirlwind on some minions when I have enough fury to get my health back, and then we're going to siege up with that bad boy. Your no escape, though, giving Sonya movement speed, more movement speed, lets her reposition better, lets her dodge skill shots better, lets her chase people better. Movement speed is very important for this character for getting kills, so remember that. I think Ruthless is also really fun if you're going to build, you know, full Whirlwind. That's cool, but at the same time, I don't know if you're going to build that very often. And at 16, you're going to take Giant Slammer. Basic attacks and Seismic Slam deal an additional 1.5% of the hero's maximum health as damage and heal Sonya for 60% of that amount. So the healing that you do, all the splash damage that's coming in, everything that you're hitting on heroes for Sonya is going to keep her alive more often. It is going to do more damage to the enemies that you're hitting, and it just genuinely couples with what you're doing already really effectively. It's fantastic. And then the amount of auto attacks that you should be getting in between all of your stuff. I mean, you can piece together the puzzle from there, I'm sure. And then the 20 talent, like I mentioned, Area Crater. Oh, it's only a 20-second cooldown reduction. My bad. So it goes from a 60-second cooldown to a 40. I thought it was 30 seconds. You'd think I would know that after playing this character for so long, but whatever, it's still really short. 40 seconds on leap is nothing, because anytime that you use leap, someone should be dead, and that means 100% that leap is going to be available whenever you need it, like jumping on the core just to throw it in the enemy's face at the end. I don't know what they're doing out in the middle lane killing the Asmo, because this is GG as soon as we turn those coins in. So go us. Yep, that's a given. Anytime that you play Sonya, if you don't make it on the MVP board, you're probably doing something wrong, because this character is just pure stats, pure damage, all healing, everything anybody could possibly need in a carry, Sonya has. And the only other character that I can think of that even slightly compares is Thrall. And that being said, Thrall doesn't have nearly as much wave clear as Sonya. Sonya is just crushing it. So we had the highest damage in the entire game, even over Tassadar, Li Ming, Kael'thas, Valeera, and Orphea, by a pretty large amount. And all the kills for our team as well. Just solid. Who beat us? Wow, Asmo. Of course Asmo's going to beat us in XP, because he's just killing minions all over the place. But anyway, the build, again, in case you need it, is going to be Furious Blow, Shattered Crown, Poison Spear, Leap, No Escape, Giant Slammer, and Ariat Crater. Oh my god, it's so much fun. Play this character. She's the best. She's my favorite. She's totally worth it. And, oh, there's that 20 talent. It lets you... Your spear goes really far, and it gives you armor. So that is also a decent talent at level 20, but if you're taking Leap, then just take Leap, make it happen. And then really at the end of the day, if you're playing Sonya and you're just getting hard shredded by the enemy team, instead of taking the spear or the crater at 20, you can take Ignore Pain, because Ignore Pain, turning off 60% of the enemy team's damage when you're going in, is very strong. I'd even say if you're building Whirlwind, if you're going full Whirlwind build, you can take your Wrath of the Berserker at 20 or 10, and then you can take the Ignore Pain at 20, and you're just unkillable with the amount of damage that you're doing. But that's it for me. Once again, thanks so much for hanging out. It was Sonya today to kick things off. It will be... This is all S's. Stitches is tomorrow. Stitches, even though we already played a game of Stitches previously, we'll reinvest in that booger. And then it's Stukov, who is actually disabled, so we'll be using some old footage for him. And then we'll end on Sylvanas, which is just a very difficult character for me to play. So, yeah. See you there.